Welcome to the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast, your home for all things football at Waldorf University, the best small college football experience in America. Hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson, from the secret gridiron bunker beneath Volsdorf Field. Now, let's meet the captains of today's podcast.
All right, welcome to this edition of the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast. Troy, how was spring break, buddy?
It was outstanding. I went on a cruise.
Oh, I worked. Yeah. So
Yeah, but you were off a week before that or something like that.
That was like 2 weeks before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks before that.
Do you want to tell us what you did?
Well, I took a little family cruise down to the Eastern Caribbean or Caribbean. I don't know what to say.
Depends on if you're a pirate or not.
I'm not a pirate.
Okay.
But wouldn't that be? I think that's where all the Vikings go, though. I think that the Vikings just took over the cruise line industry. Most of the captains in the cruise line industry are Norwegian, and so that's why I've been studying Norwegian for the last year or so.
Don't you? Did you talk to any captains?
I did talk to the captain, in fact, and that was one of my goals, was to introduce myself.
And you said?
Yeah, I hit to Troy, and he's like, "Hi, my name's Captain Rob. I'm from Ohio." And I'm like, "God bless America." I mean, what's the chances that we get an American captain on a Bahamian ship?
You're a fraud.
Oh,
sir.
Yes. Where are the? And I told him that. Well, I didn't tell him he was a fraud. I'm going to stay on the ship, but I did say, I started laughing. I was like, I've started learning Norwegian over a year ago because I thought that I would talk to the captain in Norwegian. He's like, "Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you." So
Well, and the good thing is you knew English.
I did know English.
So you could communicate.
So does everybody else on the ship, though, and most of
yeah.
them are not from
That's correct.
English-speaking countries
That is
originally.
correct.
It's a really awesome experience. Take the family sometime. It's my little niece and my nephew, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law. They'd never been on a cruise as a family, so we did it up. We got to see all kinds of stuff. My wife likes to go to the casino. I found that out.
Oh, yeah.
Not my favorite place, but it was a good time. Good time.
Well, that's good because, again, I worked for 5 days while you were out sunning yourself.
I was sunning. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you talked about family, Troy, and and our Waldorf family's growing.
Yes, it is.
It is. So it is with great anticipation, excitement on this episode of the podcast. We're bringing in a brand new, sparkling, shiny coach, Coach Chris Silva. Welcome, Coach. The crowd loves him.
Thank you.
And it fades immediately.
Excited to be here.
So again, growing family. He's now part of the Warrior family and will always and forever be. But let's talk about family a little bit, Coach. Did you bring anybody with you today?
I did. Joining me is my wife, Carissa.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Carissa. How are you?
So good.
Good. Now it's going to be fun because when
How do you spell that? Is it with a K or a C?
Is with a
C.
C.
Is yours with a C?
It's with a C. Yeah.
Two C's together. Chris and Carissa.
So there's some big news coming in when we talk about our family expanding. Carissa, you got any news for us over there as a brand new member of the Warrior family?
Yeah, we're bringing in a mini warrior too
All right.
Ooh,
next month.
I
All right.
can't
That's
wait.
the Warrior way.
That is the Warrior
Way of the
way.
Warrior. Yeah.
Yeah, so Coach Silva, he hails from Brownsville, Texas,
That's correct.
because you couldn't go any further south without changing your
Nationality?
country of origin. Yeah,
It was in Brownsville. That's not my grandparents. They went to Texas every winter, starting in like 1988.
Yep.
They went to Brownsville, McAllen area. Stayed in a place called Bibleville. Have you ever heard of that?
I have not, actually.
It's just it's a big old trailer court reservation of olds that obviously are faithful people, and they live in Bible. Got their own little post office, have their own little things going on. Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah. Sort of around McAllen, I think.
glad you feel that way.
Gotta be.
Yeah. Not Brownsville.
No.
Yeah.
McAllen's still an hour away, so it's not.
It all seems close to me.
Exactly. To
So
most people, it does.
Yeah. It's a big state.
It is.
All right.
Well, isn't it about as close between Brownsville and Dallas that it is like Dallas and Kansas City almost?
Dang there, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy smokes. Think about that. You don't even get out of the state and you've driven for however many hours. What, 6, 7 hours?
From Brownsville to Dallas could be anywhere from like 9 to 12.
Dude.
The problem is you drive through every
metro.
every major city. You
Yeah.
gotta go through San Antonio, Austin. Waco's nothing but traffic these days.
Mhm.
It could take a long time.
And I was gonna say,
Our mutual friend Carl Woolridge, he's the station
he's the
manager.
truth.
The truth. He is the truth. The K Dub is the guy at KIOW Radio here at the local station, and he and his family went down to Waco for spring break for some reason. I know this is all audio, so nobody could see your
That is
look of
not
concern
the,
and confusion.
Premier spring break.
Well, he
spot
was
in
a big
Texas
fan
at
of
all.
David Koresh. He wanted to go see the Branch Davidian situation.
How
down
did I
there.
know?
And
That's what you're going to
his
say.
Terrible.
His wife wanted to go see all the magnolia stuff and
Of course.
all of that. So, and they brought back a cactus, which is important to me. They were going to give me a cactus, but
You ever
they
seen
left it in a
cactus
hotel in Kansas City.
I saw a meme today referring to the Branch Davidians and the government response to it. And
Yeah?
I had to turn off my phone and pray for a little bit. It was horrible.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness!
Probably because I laughed.
Oh yes,
So, Chris, where are you from? Chris, where are you from?
Carissa. It sounded like Chris.
It did.
I-
It always does.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Always does.
I cut
We
it
always
off.
do it.
Carissa, where do you hail from?
Kansas City.
KC girl.
That's why when you said
Love
Kansas
it.
City, I thought you did research on
So-
me too.
Oh yeah,
We-
he
we
did.
need
I
to
definitely
should've.
did. Yeah,
We need to clarify first. She's from Kansas City, Kansas.
the
That's
Kansas
true.
side.
Oh, the Kansas
Which-
side, the high
good
tax
side.
zone.
That's-
I kind of
Like
I like
Overland
Kansas
Park,
City. Overland
Olathe?
Park. Yeah, got a friend over there.
I'm from Baser, Kansas, so
Where?
a little Baser.
Baser.
So it's right outside west. by
Okay.
Yeah.
Kansas City, but yes.
Yeah.
My son lives in the Missouri side of Kansas City. They just moved down there
Yeah.
last year. So
My kids live up north of the cities in Lathrop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're going there this weekend.
There you go.
Well, all right.
Looking forward to it.
We'll check it out for you. Make sure everything's still okay in Kansas City.
Well, it's not probably a very long drive to Topgolf in Overland Park. Right?
No,
Oh,
not at all.
good. Well, and so you're kind of closer to family now because, all right, Coach, you went to Hannah High School
I did.
in Brownsville, and then you played football at Hardin Simmons University in Abilene, Texas.
Yes, sir.
You were a running back there,
Mm-hmm.
4-year letter winner, 3-time academic all-conference in the American Southwest Conference. And in 2015, the Hardin Simmons, you guys were the what? The Blue Jays? No, you were
Cowboys.
Purple. Cowboys.
We were the Cowboys.
Same thing.
It is.
Guns
thing.
up.
You guys were the 2015 ASC champions.
Yes, we were.
Yeah. Did you get? Where's your ring?
In my office, actually.
Really?
Yeah, you should come by and take a look at them.
I've been by your office. I was by there yesterday.
Must
I
not
don't
notice
know.
them.
No, I didn't, and I'm definitely going to take notice. What size ring you wear? I've got some big paws.
I have
Yeah?
some small paws. I think
Okay.
like, 9 maybe.
I have no idea what size rings are. The last ring I bought was like 30 some years ago.
Oh yeah. Well, that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would it surprise you to know that I do have a ring sizer?
It would not. No, it does not.
Not here in this particular location, but
So you started your coaching career at Hardin Simmons,
Yes, sir.
and then you moved up to a place that we know,
Mm-hmm.
Wartburg College in Waverly, Iowa. How in the world? Yes. How in the world
Wartburg.
do you go from Abilene and it's like, I'm going to Iowa. It seems warm.
Well, obviously the weather was not the deciding factor in that decision.
Yeah.
But
Was it the color orange?
it was not.
Okay.
Although the black and orange color scheme it's one of the best, and
It is pretty cool.
it's pretty simple. But
I like purple. Purple's good.
I was just a young guy trying to get into the coaching world, and
Yeah.
I just threw my name, but just apply for a job, really, and I
Got it.
It was crazy, yeah, and it was my only time. It was the first time I'd ever applied for a job like that, and they did it right. They flew me out. They
Really?
Yeah.
paid for a hotel, and they took
Did
me
you stay like a
out,
Super
and
8, or did
it was the Super 8 in
I was
in
going to say
Waverly,
on the
yeah.
north side of town there.
Yeah.
South side of town.
South side.
You know,
Ooh, that's a tough part.
the football coach is the AD at Wartburg. Is that still the case? Still the same guy? Who's the coach?
No, so the
a
head
different
coach,
guy?
he was the DC when I was there. His name's Chris Winter.
That's a different guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rick Willis, who was the
That's
AD,
what I was
the head
thinking of.
coach. Yep, he's the guy I worked for.
Okay.
He is he's in like student enrollments.
No.
He's got some fancy VP title now.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Mo money.
Well, I guess we won't be making fun of the D3 situation again in this episode.
You probably don't want to listen to the D3.
You
episode.
feel free to make fun of the D3.
No, we.
It's all right.
I don't know.
I've heard just about everything you can say
No,
about it.
no.
So.
Coach Chop.
And I've been recruiting against D3 schools now for, three
Yes.
years.
Well, you've got some insight. Yeah, for
do.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, Coach
Oh, that's good
Chop's
to know.
episode. Troy got he
I
brought
got
in
a little
soapbox.
derailed.
He brought in a soapbox
Yeah.
and you stood right on top of it, and he.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it was kind of cringy.
go check back to the archives on that.
Yeah, but that's good stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, we love our D3. It's that step below NAI as far as we're concerned.
Yeah.
So you're moving on up, Coach.
Yeah.
So,
This is the Wild West. The NAI is the Wild West.
yeah. And speaking of going down to the Wild West, after Wartburg, you got called to Big Sagu, and we know Sagu well.
Hmm. Well, I've never been there, but
Well, I mean, we know the name.
Mhm.
We've got players from
Lately.
Sagu.
Players from
Now we got a couple coaches from Sagu.
Uh-huh.
I mean, come on, man, really.
Yep.
So what did you do down at
Pipeline.
Sagu?
you just watch that, like, just draining away into this place, this magical kingdom of Waldorf, and you're like, well, I mean, I make a step my foot into this little drain that's apparently. Oh, and then here you are.
No. Well, so at Sagu, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a funny story. I got hired on to be the linebackers GA.
right.
I was there for the spring, basically. Coach linebackers in the spring. DC then leaves for a high school head coaching job, as a lot of small college coaches do eventually.
Yes.
And
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
we couldn't hire anyone. No one wanted the job. Our head coach didn't know anyone who wanted it, and so in the summertime, he called me into his office, gave me an interview that I didn't know was an interview, and then told me he'd get my playbook ready at the end of the conversation. So,
Really?
yep. And so I was for 2 years while I was there, maybe no, might have been 2.5, 3. I kind of tend to forget, but I was the defense coordinator actually.
So you were a running back?
I was a running back my whole life.
Yeah.
Played it in college.
Yes.
Coached running backs my first 3 years in coaching.
Yeah.
And then
Just going to be the DC. Why
I was
not?
the DC. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it, I mean, that's a pretty good, actually, trial by fire.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, like, legitimately just, you try to prepare as much as you can over the summer. And,
Right.
You know, reach out to all your buddies and resources, but there's nothing that will ever really truly prepare you for
Well, and
that role, especially for a role on the other side of the ball.
Well,
And
Right.
not only was I learning, how to be a coordinator, I was learning defense.
Were you like,
exactly.
is that a thing? Like, you thinking back at your freshman year in college, and then, they split up everything. High school, you might play both sides a little bit, but in
Not in Texas.
not in Texas, you don't. Sorry, it is big deal. Yeah. So yeah, were you like, I'll never need to know that, like algebra or something, and then all of a sudden you're like, holy cow, I got to use the Pythagorean theorem.
No, not exactly. Just because, as a young coach, everyone always tells you that you need to learn both sides of the ball, right? And my goal was always my ultimate goal was I want to be a coordinator at the highest level. Right?
Okay.
The highest level I possibly can. And so, that's originally why I took the linebackers J job in the first place. I wanted to learn defense from the inside, and it turned into a, try by fire, as you said.
That's probably pretty
Yeah,
helpful in some degrees.
100%.
You know what was hard on you? Like if you say, God, I don't like it when these defenders do
100%.
this. Yeah, linebackers and all this other stuff.
Yep. And, it was a little easier, making the transition to the defensive side as the DC, because that's exactly what I thought.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, well, I know what offenses like to do.
Mhm.
So what should I do schematically here to counteract what they like to do?
Yeah. And your bio showed that your first year as defensive coordinator, Sagu sent like 8 school records.
Did.
Yeah.
We were the best defense in school history my first year.
Well, it was easy then.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks it's
Easy,
this
yeah.
hard job, and it's just like, nah, first time, pretty much figured it out.
Yeah.
The secret is having really, really good players.
Yeah, yeah.
Jimmy's and Joe's. I heard a guy say that one time.
Yeah.
You ever heard that?
I have.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm going to step over here to the person that's classing up the room a little bit.
Okay.
Carissa.
Yes.
All right. So where did you go to school? And I'm very interested in how you two characters met.
All right. Well, I graduated from Fort Hays State.
I'm sorry, what?
Fort Hays State.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Northwest Missouri State proud Bearcat.
Oh,
Proud
you got a
Bearcat.
promote
Right in the
there.
room.
Tags.
Boom.
Roll
BEARCATS.
Oh, did you guys play each other?
Fort Hays is,
Big rival?
Fort Hays is a really good
Yeah.
school.
Okay.
They're a great school, great athletic program. So, I mean, props to the MIAA brother and sisterhood.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Mi familia.
Okay.
Anyway,
I wouldn't have came if I knew you were a Bearcat.
Yeah. Well,
it's called jealousy. It's okay. You'll get over it.
oh. Fort Hays.
Fort Hays.
Fort Hays State's
And
great school.
then I went up to North Dakota, got my graduate degree at Minot State.
Did you?
Nice.
So,
Well, you might notice there's a North Dakota flag in the building.
oh,
My wife's from North Dakota.
Here in the bunker.
really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bring a North Dakota flag wherever we
I
go.
was curious about the old North Dakota flag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mhm.
What
Yeah.
part of North Dakota is it?
Oh, well, you know where Minot is. So
Yep.
further north and to the west of that.
Oh, boy.
Up in
It's Canada, eh?
darn near, yeah. Not too far away. A little
Don't
place
you
called
know?
Rolla, North Dakota, which is
Okay.
Rowlett County, I think. But and all that. Now I'm going to embarrass myself if that's not accurate. But yeah, not too far away from the Peace Gardens, not too far away from Canada. Mm-hmm.
So then after North Dakota,
And then I took a job, my first job first I was an MIAA intern. So I
Nice.
moved back to Kansas City. Went down to Texas, took my first job, got laid off from my first job on the very first day. 'cause
Thank
it
you,
was
COVID.
oh yeah.
COVID.
Is that right?
Crap.
Yeah. Talk about hard times.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. The vice
You just want me to work
president-
from home? No, you're
No.
just laid off.
Vice president literally called me. So don't come into the office tomorrow. We're actually laying you off.
Oh.
We're closing the office due to COVID. We don't know what's happening. Oh, okay, cool.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So that was awesome. Had to figure out what I was going to do since the world was shutting down.
hmm
What did you do?
Well, I ended up going back to Kansas City for a little bit, ended up getting out of my lease. But we had some family friends down in Dallas who reached out to my dad and was like, hey, if she wants to give Texas a chance, like she can come live with us.
Yeah.
We all thought, a few weeks it'll all pass over,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
2 weeks
Stop,
turned
slow
to
the curve.
7 months, I
Shrink
think.
the curve.
Something about the curve.
Yeah,
Yep.
something.
Yeah.
The curve did not shrink.
No.
I ended
Thanks
up
for
being
playing,
there.
folks. We're here for 2 years now.
Yeah.
So,
Andy knows all about that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
so stayed in Texas. And then that's how Chris and I ended up meeting. Our first date was at Turner Falls in Oklahoma.
It's
Went
the
and saw
largest
the-
natural waterfall in Oklahoma.
Yep.
Might be the only one.
How far away was
Yeah.
that from where you were? Because you were in Dallas?
Yep.
So
we're in
that's
South
not
Dallas.
too far.
No, maybe
50 minutes.
2.5 hours.
I was
maybe.
way off.
Yeah, it's not that close.
Swing and a miss. Strike one.
No.
I'm using Iowa scale for these timelines and distances in Texas. Yeah. McAllen, Brownsville, and what, you 50 minutes from the border there to Oklahoma, are you? Okay, good.
Yeah. So from there, we were quarantined, obviously, not like couldn't do anything. So
Mhm.
we hung out a lot, and here we are, a ring on my finger.
Yeah.
There you go. So where'd you guys get
I
married?
think COVID worked out.
All
right.
Yeah.
Push
I
this
went
button.
from very upset to husband.
Go COVID. All right.
Yeah.
Bringing people together. Yeah. This is like the exact opposite of what it was supposed to do. Anyway, all right.
Go from sick.
So where'd you guys get married? Did you go up,
Kansas City.
go up to Kansas City? All right.
Yep.
Yep.
So it was very beautiful July, hot day.
Yeah.
But it was an indoor wedding, so that
Yeah.
hot
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah. My daughter and son-in-law got married in, I don't know if a town you've ever heard of called Maryville, Missouri.
Yes.
That's a Fort Hays dig again.
Yes.
So,
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oddly enough, I've heard of it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. And again, I say I'm a Bearcat, but I'm a warrior through and through.
Yeah.
I just graduated from Northwest, but I also graduated from Waldorf. So,
Back in the day. Yeah.
I guess I hold
Bleeds
2 degrees.
purple.
I do. It's weird. Yeah. I mean, the doctor said I'm okay, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
That's a
purple
strange
blood.
color.
Exactly. I thought I was a
Yeah.
vampire for a while, but I can't stay up much past
Not all the way. Not when it comes to the NFL. He's different in that regard. But
Oh,
That's all right.
I do not bleed purple in the NFL.
Are you a Chiefs fan?
Well, of course.
Of course you are.
The kingdom.
Like, always were?
Always were.
Not just
Always was.
conveniently.
My grandpa
Always.
assisted in building the stadium. So, I mean, it's in my blood.
It is.
If I decide not to be a Chiefs fan, I think I'd be disowned.
So the song
Probably.
Can you sing the song with the Red Kingdom? Is that like,
The Tech Nine song?
yeah. Sing.
Well, I can't sing
How
it
do you
right
know
now.
about the Tech 9 song?
I'll tell you how I know about it.
No one, first of all, no one knows who Tech 9 is except people from Kansas City.
Well,
Always tells me that. I don't
it's funny
believe
that
it.
you bring this. Actually, you said the kingdom, but I know about that only because, like I said, my son lives down there, and he and his girlfriend are living there, and my son's a lawyer now, and their firm represents the Chiefs, so that is exciting for us. Although my son doesn't have anything to do with the Chiefs, but it's cool that now they're the Super Bowl champions. Okay. So on this cruise, they were on this cruise with us, and they were singing Red Kingdom, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Except my son's girlfriend, Miranda, thinks it's Brick Kingdom.
Brick Kingdom.
Yep,
and everybody was like,
makes sense.
stop, wait, what did you say? And she's like, that's what it is. And it is.
It is not.
No,
So
it's not bricks.
I think it's corrected now because that kind of went on all week last week.
And there's something very charming about young ladies that don't know the lyrics to songs. Because when my wife and I first got together, we've been married almost 29 years now, and one time we had music up for whatever reason, just because I don't know, it was something to do. And Steve Miller Band, Big Old Jet Airliner song came on, and my beautiful bride, who can sing wonderfully.
She can sing.
Yes. She started belting out the lyrics. Bingo Jed had a light on. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Bingo Jed had a light on? I said, tell me how that makes any sense whatsoever. Bingo Jed had a light on. I said, it's Big Old Jet Airline. Oh, that makes more sense.
More sense now that I think about it.
She's the smartest person I know, which I know a lot of smart people.
Yeah.
She is definitely
Didn't
one.
get that one. Yeah. So she also is are you a Royals fan then too because of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're Twins fans and my son's a Twins fan, Vikings fan. We've got her, she's a Vikings fan, but now she's from Chicago. So she had the whole Bears thing going on, and that I think she was a Sox fan, not Cubs, but I could be wrong about that. But then all of a sudden she's like, well, now you're kind of into with this family. And so now she's like, she's all in Vikings and Twins. And that makes everybody, she likes to wear the jerseys. We moved them to Kansas City. And I kid you not, like we go to the Royals game and I mean, we're like, where's Miranda? Like, we're standing in line. Next thing you know, she's standing next to us, and she's got Royals gear on. It's like, well, I'm a Royals fan now. Oh, is that how this works? So she's happy wherever she moves. Yeah.
So, Coach, we talked a little bit about everybody else's affinity.
Yeah.
Where do your loyalties lie?
Yeah.
Let's start with college. Obviously, Waldorf. I know that. You don't have to say
Mm-hmm.
that. Oh.
Horns.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's hard not to like the horn.
You know who else is a fan of Texas would be
Luke
Johnson.
Yeah, he graduated.
Senior.
He was a senior quarterback for Waldorf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He graduates this spring, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
he's an Iowa kid. He grew up just 4 miles north of town, farm kid, and he decided that, hook 'em horns, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense, though. That's cool. I like that. Yeah. But what about the NFL?
Cowboys.
The Cowboys.
Yeah, I
Gotta
didn't
be
know
the
this was
Cowboys.
going to be such a short interview today, but
Anyway, hey, thanks everybody. Hey.
What?
Oh.
America's team.
Yeah. Did you want me to be a Texans fan? I mean,
No.
Oh, that would have been interesting. Would have been, like a little support for the Texans.
nah.
So is that a family thing? I mean, was like the family like the Cowboys?
Oh yes, 100%.
Okay.
It's
hard not to get
all
away from that.
Cowboys. Yeah.
Yeah.
You grew up in Texas, you're gonna be a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's Cowboys fans everywhere. I mean, they are.
Yeah.
all over the place for sure.
Yeah, they're kind of like a. Never mind.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders came by the station I was at in Korea one time, and that was like probably the best time of the entire year that I spent there in Korea. Was when the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders came through and did a little show.
Nice.
I bet.
Huh.
Yeah,
No pictures whatsoever.
yeah. Thanks, America's team.
Support our
Appreciate it.
troops.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Absolutely. So, how are you folks finding your time? You've been in Forest City about 3 weeks?
2 maybe. But
I don't remember.
2 or 3.
2 or 3. So, what do you think so far? You really probably haven't seen much. I mean, you've seen the D-Jack. That's kind of in the Hy-Vee, probably.
Yeah.
That's about it.
All I know is it's cold.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, this is unseasonably cold. You know, and so today,
That's what we tell everybody.
yeah, but no, it's cold.
We'll say
I remember vividly how.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
but today marks the 5-month anniversary from Iowa's first recorded snowfall back in 22. November 14th was the first recorded measurable snowfall in the state of Iowa 5 months ago today. So
We could have snow Thursday, maybe.
yeah, we will.
Come on.
Sorry,
Oh,
man.
we can't have.
Well, there was-
Oh, we don't. That's not good. It's not good.
10 years ago on Cinco de Mayo, we had
Oh,
like
my
8 inches of snow.
Yeah,
That was very wet.
wet, heavy, but it was gone in about 2 days.
So my first year out of Ortberg out in Waverly, right? It's,
Yeah.
It's late April. Okay.
Yeah,
Which had to be the last weekend, and it was the weekend of our big like fundraiser
Mm.
they do out there, and we hadn't had snow had been cleared, been fine. There was no snow on the ground, and we woke up with the day of this fundraiser. We were supposed to get started at like 9 or something to like I don't know a foot of fresh new snow. And I was just like, how is it physically possible to get this much snow?
makes a
when it's
person angry.
It doesn't make it. It was I was livid.
Yeah,
Livid. As a beach boy from Texas, I was
Yeah.
livid.
hanging out on Padre.
About like 50 minutes from the beach, you think, then? Or
Give or take.
15 if you're in Brownsville, brother.
Hanging out on South Padre.
yeah.
Yeah, starting about mid-March.
Mm.
Yeah, when you're in high school, I suppose.
hmm
Yeah.
Yep.
Goodness sakes.
Crazy ones, at least. I stayed
Well, yeah.
in high school.
Kept your nose clean.
Did.
Yeah. And, we talked earlier about you being an academic dude. I mean, and that's one of the things we've talked about with players and coaches and everything else, how important academics is to this sport. If you're not eligible, you don't play.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you push on your guys now? And you've had just a very short amount of time to meet your stable of running backs, and we've got some horses in there, of course.
Wideouts.
What?
Coaching the wideouts.
You're coaching wideouts? I thought you were running
wideouts.
backs coach.
Coaching the wideouts.
Who's coaching running backs?
Mixture of Coach Ani and Coach Paramore and myself.
Okay, well, so you are. Yeah. Now, one of the things we didn't talk about, we mentioned SAGU, and of course, we also mentioned that SAGU was something that's where Coach Paramore came from.
I mean, I just imagine that you're going to be like looking over Chappa's shoulder. He's the new DC, and you're like, you need any help, let me know. I did that for like 3 years. No big deal.
Not at all. I am thoroughly excited to be away from the defensive side.
I'll bet.
Thoroughly excited.
So you had mentioned to me that you had a roommate when you were at SAGU.
I had the worst roommate in America. His name was one Chasen Paramore.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Chasen?
His full name was Chasen, if y'all didn't know that.
We did not. Making a note.
Write it down.
Maybe having the title of the podcast. Chasen.
Chasen victories.
Yeah. I'm not sure why more people don't know that.
Well, and
I can guess. Like Chasen, I spelled it with a Y, but I don't know why I did that. Is it just like Chasen, like
No, it's Chase, Chase,
with an N?
Yep.
I'd be chasing Paramore, but
Jason.
chasing him.
Yep.
Okay, I was.
well, and his dad's name's Michael,
Yes.
Yep.
and his folks are wonderbeings.
I
Phenomenal.
can't spell.
Biggest
That time I did it
I'm
with
not
a T.
sure if I've seen a like a father who is more of a fan of their son.
I agree with that. He was out here last spring ball.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, man's always smiling. He was up here this
do you
fall.
follow Michael on Twitter?
Yes, I do.
It's-
No, I
it's
don't. I'm
not
gonna do
just
that
the
right now.
best.
Oh yeah, and
Check
every kid that says, "Hey, I got an offer from congratulations, Mike Paramore,
Good
Mike
job.
Paramore." Yeah,
It's the best.
Does he go by Mike or Michael on
I believe it's Michael.
it's Michael. Yes. Now, are you guys same age?
No, I'm a couple years older, I believe.
Okay. Yeah,
I
it's
think
nice to bring in some age on staff.
I know. Yep.
And we will next week you guys will hear from another new coach. We're gonna get him, and I don't know how old he is. Yeah, I looked at some of his bio stuff today, and yeah, it's a young stable of coaches.
It is.
But we're expecting big things.
100%.
So the nice part is got to be you knowing Chase the way that you do. Now, granted, you didn't work with him on the offensive side of the ball at Sagu, but you understand offense, and it's got to be kind of interesting for you to now be able to get in that room and be able to do some scheming for what's coming up for our opponents this year.
Yep, 100%. And I will say, when I like to think I'm a student of the game. So one of the first things I did when I got to Sagu, guys, I did learn the offense.
Mm-hmm.
So coming in, I know the system.
Yep.
I just haven't game planned in it exactly, but I know it. And it's seeing Chase be the guy in charge now. It's it's a little surreal, really. Like he was I think he'd only been coaching maybe a year or two when I first met him down at the Goo, and
Yeah. The goo. I like it.
We're the woo. They're the goo.
It's true. We are the woo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, I found him on Twitter. That's why there was a moment of silence, and you could guys have a nice conversation.
It was weird. Yeah. I didn't know what to do.
I'm sure people were
Yeah.
really nervous.
It's like the time you walked out of the room, right?
just left.
Oh no, it's when Courtney got his head bashed in, and you had to go get your go kit. Yeah, that was a whole nother.
Carry on the conversation. This isn't stopping just because of that.
So the president of the Gridiron Club, Troy, and I are executive team members as well. But we actually did a live podcast episode out at the tailgate. McCoy Yakel, I don't know if you've had a chance to meet McCoy yet. He was a stellar athlete and human being. So we interviewed his parents, who have been really that core at our tailgate and just making things happen. And Courtney was pounding in post to put up our gridiron signs. And and it was so off-putting because all you heard in the background is tink, tink, tink. And we even said something about how off-putting. And Courtney brought the post pounder up a little too high and used all his might to pull it down. And it caught on the top. And the top of the post pounder came down and bashed him in the head. Opened him up, and he bled like a stuck hog.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Purple, but he bled purple, so that's cool.
yeah, which is weird. He's the only other person in the United States that does that.
Yeah. And he graduated from Luther, so
Yeah, he's
yeah. See, I knew you appreciate that as a Wartburg guy.
yeah,
A
but
little rivalry there. Yeah, he recovered pretty well fully, and got a good scar now. Tell a good story.
It's in his hairline,
wife's
though.
a nurse, so trauma nurse. So, and unfortunately, she wasn't around. So,
But there were other nurses
But
there.
there were other nurses. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we were fortunate that
Yeah,
day.
it worked out pretty good.
So what have you heard about the Waldorf experience as far as game day?
I've heard that people care. People care about Waldorf, and people come out, and there's tailgating, which is
Yes, there is.
Super excited.
my wife is excited for that. That's
Good.
all she cares about, really.
Good.
Yeah,
It's a good
game
time.
day experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right.
The whole culture out there. That's really the driving force of the Gridiron Club is the folks that are out there behind that fence and
for sure.
having a good time starting early in the morning.
There you go.
Yeah, usually you like when we kick at 1, they're out there 9.
Mm-hmm.
Getting things going, feeding the guys, and yeah, it's always a good time. Always a good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, looking forward to you guys experiencing that. Come this fall. Game day is probably one of the better things that we do around here. Carissa, I noticed you had a IronMan. So it says staff on it. Have you done an Ironman before?
I have not.
Thank
I
God.
have not. No. Sometimes when I'm working and I am at the finish line, because I work for the VIP department.
Yeah.
So when I watch the finish line and everybody crossing, I'm like, you know what? It's freaking awesome. Like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And I wake up on Monday morning and I feel like I've done one after
Yeah.
I've worked
Right.
20 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, maybe it's not for me.
Different kind of Ironman.
Yeah, that's a whole different.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Because that's a
But not yet.
triathlon. Is that right?
Swim, bike,
Yeah.
run.
Not
Yeah.
just a watch.
No, it's
also an iron, an
It's
actual event.
Yeah, the full triathlon.
Yeah.
They don't
You
mess
gotta swim and ride a bike. Or
And
swim
run.
first and run.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like
Swim,
a
ride a bike,
Swim,
run.
bike, run.
like a 3 kilometer swim, a 112-mile bike ride, and a marathon.
Yep.
Yeah, in the same day,
Yeah.
in the same decade.
In the
for
same
me. Yeah,
day. Yes. It's insane.
yeah.
17-hour time.
How far they gotta swim?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
kilometers,
Wait, what, yeah.
but
What's
it's
with the different
2.1 miles.
measurement?
Oh, so okay. I
doesn't-
thought it was 2.6. That's 3 kilometers.
Yeah.
So I mean, military
Whatever.
guy.
Who's
This
from
is
Canada
America.
now?
Use the. What are you doing?
We're doing 3 clicks. We got 3 clicks. We got to go in the water. We
Yeah.
got to swim.
2.1 would be less.
And it's funny that that's what it is, though. Is that based because of Hawaii? Did it start in Hawaii? Does anybody know that you wear the jacket? We need answers about the Ironman. Nothing? Why is it only
I
2
just realized you're right. It's 2.6 because it's 140.6.
3
Yeah. See?
See?
3
Do I-
kilometers.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you
You are
very
right.
much. I'm really bad at math, and I could be totally wrong. Somebody's listening to this podcast right now going, I'll tell you what, 2.6 miles is not 3 kilometers. It's actually...
The Reynolds family.
Well,
is
someone's probably
upset with
also-
us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's
Yeah.
probably also like, I don't think you work for IronMan because you don't know.
Right.
You're right.
You got the jacket, though, so they can pound sand.
Exactly.
That's
I
right.
do VIP, so I plan the fancy.
That's where we would be.
Festivities.
Yeah,
At the
I don't
VIP lounge.
worry about the distance.
Sitting there eating a hot dog. Go, run. Yeah.
We have better
have
food
way
than
better food
hot
than hot
dogs.
dogs.
Come on now.
Can I get some more nachos, please?
Well, if you don't at least have hot dogs, what kind of organization, what kind of operation do you got over there? They
Well,
don't-
it's got to be healthy, so all beef.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
all right,
I like pork.
all beef on it.
Okay.
So that's I thought we clearly don't do much research, so you
At
could
all.
have just said, "Yep, done 6 of them,"
I could have.
and we'd be like, "That's amazing."
Yeah, but see,
And I did
Iron
2
Man's-
while I've been pregnant.
Oh,
Ironman's, you can actually look up the results.
okay.
So, I mean,
but again,
there's got to be
what
some
are the chances? that we
plausible
would-
deniability there.
Yeah.
Ask your son what that means.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, other people though that listen to it, they might Google that.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, we would never.
Carissa. Well, and maybe they.
There's
maybe
no
it was-
zero chance they spell her name right.
That's right.
0.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Well, would they involve a Y or a T like I did for Chasen?
Chasten.
Chasten?
So Chasen, look, if you're chased and you are chastened,
I've been chafed. Does
you've
that
been
count?
chased,
Oh.
chastened.
Okay. Yeah, I understand what the word is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so what'd you major in, Coach?
No T. though.
Social studies.
Hey, all right.
Yeah. So great, fallback plan is a guy that wants to coach in college.
Mhm.
If you end up having to go the high school route in Texas, you have to be a certified teacher.
Right.
So that was the whole.
That's a good call.
Yeah. It was social studies.
Yep.
Similar to history.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I studied.
Yeah, I'd be able to teach like 8 different classes. And
My fallback plan is podcasting. A lot of people.
there's a lot of money in old podcasting.
Nope. Didn't think about that.
Not
But
Almost
much.
none.
Not a lot of money in coaching.
just like
either,
every other
so
liberal
it's-
arts degree.
Yeah. Chris, what did you major in school?
Sports management.
Nice. And the Iron Man thing kind of came in well, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Are you still looking for a job in the area? Or did you find one yet? You got one.
I work for IronMan still.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
So you're like
I
a
work remote.
holy smokes,
I
that is
just-
awesome.
I fly wherever the
What?
event is.
Why don't you run and swim and ride a bike?
I should. Maybe
Too far?
It's only
I'm working the 70.3 Des Moines, so maybe I can do
Oh.
it there.
Des
I can
Moines?
ride my bike.
Des Moines has an Iron Man?
Mhm.
They still go by Iron Man?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's like an aluminum man.
That's
Not
right.
the whole thing.
Oh. No, I mean, it's not Iron Person. That's what I get.
No,
yes,
it
yes,
is
yeah.
still Iron Man.
Still
yes.
Iron Man. And like, we're
It
not
is.
changing. We're iron.
Careful.
Iron sharpens iron.
People are passionate
does.
about Iron Man, so
Yeah.
they would
I-
not.
So that's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
So
Thanks, COVID.
Coach, you ever done an
Working
Iron
out.
Man?
Never.
like, so what do you like to do? Like, what is your, like, are you a workout guy?
I am a workout guy.
Okay.
Every morning. You can find me in the weight room every morning.
Every morning.
6:37. Yep.
All right. Showing the guys how it's done.
Yep.
All right. 6:30 in the morning you get up.
So got to.
So I was talking to Coach, what's the defensive coordinator's name?
Choppa?
I'm not sure, but anyway, so I was talking to Chop yesterday, and he was saying something about the time change and how he was like, I got up and, I set my alarm for 7:45. What?
Yeah.
Then I get here about 8:45. Of course, they're hours. I mean, they work late hours.
Okay.
All the coaches do, but
He's like a Guns N' Roses song.
huh?
Which
I get up around 7. I get out of bed around 9. And then so on.
I ain't
You guys
worried
know
about
that?
nothing.
I don't
Hey, I
know
will
that
tell you
Worrying's a
something.
waste of my time.
In a few weeks, new Silva baby, and my parenting hack is when they won't stop crying, don't shake them. Just put them in the car
I
seat,
can't believe
take them for a little drive, and then play Guns N' Roses.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
Appetite for Destruction, I feel works good, but Use Your Illusion, all of those work. That's just very, I don't know what it is.
yeah.
Babies can't compete with Axl Rose. And
Interesting.
they just give up and go to bed.
Or is it Slash?
Well,
Could be.
it probably is actually.
Yeah. Yeah, the guitar riff.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of music do you listen to, Coach?
All kinds. Like legitimately all kinds.
All
from
kinds.
Texas country, rock,
Yeah.
the classics, current rock, new metal, rap.
You say Texas country because that's a thing.
it is a
George Strait.
George Strait, Cody Johnson, Aaron Watson.
You probably didn't have a whole lot of choice living with Paramore to listen to country, did you? But old country, not just Texas country, like twangy, South Alabama.
L.A., yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. L.A. is the acronym for Lower Alabama.
Lower Alabama.
Oh,
Oh, I thought you were talking like.
Los Angeles.
That's what I thought.
Like, oh, wow, L.A. country. I didn't think that existed there. But
Dwight Yoakam.
Nope.
They're all out.
oh, yeah. Don't even start me on that
Bakersfield.
guy.
But good. That's a good deal. There's a country fest allegedly coming back to Forest City.
Memorial Day weekend, DenimFest.
DenimFest. We'll see.
Talking about it
You
last
bet.
weekend. Yeah.
How could that possibly
Yadira was
go
telling
wrong?
us about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's got to be nice for you guys having a relationship with Chasen before you go.
Oh, he's gonna be so happy.
And-
Yeah, he's gonna be great. He's gonna.
Did you guys
podcast.
did you guys stay in contact the whole time where you knew Yadira pretty well and all that stuff? The two of you.
So I do. I consider like me and Chase are friends. Like he's not
Oh,
just
yeah.
a coworker. Like we are friends.
He's your boss.
and,
Yeah.
I mean, what's the front of it?
boss is a strong word.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Chase, we talked, we kept in touch as much as football coaches do, you know, like once during the season, once a month after the season, the way coaching friendships work. But, it's
Well, that's being a guy too. Let's be honest. As you get older, you'll see that your stable of friends doesn't necessarily shrink, but you don't really reach out so much. And one of the best inappropriate jokes I've ever heard that I can actually tell here is what's the hardest thing to believe about Jesus Christ's life?
I had 12 people following him.
Well, that he had 12 close friends
Yeah.
in
As a
his
guy.
30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Really?
Yeah. Well,
Really?
it's because he wasn't married. Otherwise, you're friends with all your wives' friends.
I thought denim meant.
I thought it was literally just
Like
like jeans,
denim
like blue
jeans.
jeans.
It is also
Well, it is.
Boots
Yeah.
out.
Canadian
okay.
Tuxedo Weekend.
When the festival first started, it was called Tree Town Music Festival, and then Country Thunder took it over, and Country Thunder had opted to move away from their Iowa venue, and so Joe came in, and Joe used to be the MC for Tree Town, so I got to know him, and there was one time I think I was in Target, and there was a huge sign up on the wall that said "America loves denim," so I had to take a picture of it and send it to him. Like, Joe, he's like, "Oh, I knew that."
Yeah.
Quite a
That
guy.
sounds like almost like a Paulapolooza type deal.
It does.
What's that?
They wouldn't know what that.
They wouldn't know. But
Now you're gonna have to enlighten us.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna plug it in here though. So
Yeah.
as you just mentioned, being friends with all of your wife's friends. So one of Carissa's best friends, father, puts on a concert in his backyard. But it's a big deal. His name's Paul, and so it's called Paulapolooza. It's a legitimate
He
it's
had
concert.
a liquor store.
He builds a
sponsored
stage. He
It was
gets
pretty
sponsored. It's
awesome.
amazing.
So when do
It's amazing.
tickets go on sale? Because I do find myself in the Kansas City area from time
I'll
to time.
invite you to the
Yeah,
Facebook
100%.
page.
Oh my God.
Paulapolooza.
big day.
Paulapolooza. It's
Yeah.
a big deal out
There's-
in West Kansas City, Kansas.
Yeah.
Scores
But
of
only a
people
few
are
people
interested
know,
from listening
so-
to this.
Oh yeah.
Consider
yeah.
yourself.
And now there's going to be 4 or 5 more
Yeah, that's right.
from this
know.
You're
podcast.
going to want that invite.
Yeah. I'm
We'll put a link.
Paulapolooza. You think I'm not going to look that up on Facebook later?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you're
write
crazy.
that down as well, right next to Chasen.
Just do you need help
There you go.
spelling it?
Chasen, yeah. Paulapolooza. What are your big plans? Any tweaks, special things?
The cool thing is I have a very different offensive background from Chase and from Coach Ani.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll be able to bring a little different dynamic. Add some new, pass game, some new, ways to kind of make things a little bit more efficient. But like any offense's goal, you want to score a whole lot of points.
Yeah.
Right.
That is the end all be all.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter how you do it. The point is, how many can you put up on the board?
I'll tell you, the crowd likes it when we score.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just a thing
Weird.
unique to Waldorf or but they really like it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
Yeah, really neat when we do that.
I don't know where you came up with that, but yeah, that's good. I get tickled. So one of the things that we always kind of give Paramore and Ani a bad time is that they've got this bromance going, and now a close friend of Chasen comes in, and
A home wrecker.
I don't know. I mean,
Whoa.
Yeah, coming into this situation.
I don't know. Yeah, you got to kind of shoulder into that relationship a little bit. Have you noticed how close those two are?
I absolutely have.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I was legitimately thinking coming in, like, I'll just be
Yeah.
Paramore's right-hand man again. And, the amount of times that
Yeah.
I walk in to ask Paramore something and him and Ani are and they're discussing something. I'm just like, whoa, where's my invite? And,
Yeah.
there's-
What's
it's
all
the-
this?
And Ani's got his hat off and his head in his hand, and he's staring at his monitor on his computer. He's always messing with his hair. And thank God he got a haircut not a couple months ago. So
Yeah.
Wow,
He's probably working on a spreadsheet over there, doing a little
Did he used to have long hair?
no, he just
longer.
doesn't have time to cut it, and I've got clippers at my house. I'm gonna make him look good by
Yeah. You think you could take me up sometime or?
Yeah, Chris has been wondering where he should get his haircut.
Yeah.
So
Well, I got clippers, and when I was in college, some of my friends, I
Do
and
this
that's
myself.
that's back when it was the. I mean, you want to talk fade? These things were huge piles of hair on some of these dudes' heads, and it made you nervous because some of my friends, man, they're very picky about their hair. And one guy in particular was a football player named Corey Ray. I never cut his hair. He hardly had any, and he would spend hours in the mirror smoothing it down. Some of the other guys, you'd come in and it was just, you could set a book on top of it. By the time you're all done, those things, you would just sit there and keep working it and trying to get this perfect almost. And some of them wanted like the little Rolo top and stuff like that. Some of them wanted that straight. I don't know what it was called, but we used to do stuff like that. But it's been quite a few years, and I'd be remiss if I said I had any confidence in I cut my own
But
hair.
back in the day,
Yeah.
it sounds like you were kind of talented.
Yeah.
No. I had no talent ever at doing anything.
It was like Barbershop 3 over there. Yeah. What's going on? It's
true. Yep.
Yeah.
I took all my barbering skills from Coming to America,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, did you?
where you just clip over top of their head.
Yeah.
That was-
Martin Luther King.
exactly.
Right?
Mama named him Clay.
You've
I'm gonna
seen
call him
Coming to
Clay.
America.
I have.
Okay, thank God.
Once.
Because,
I- I just
yeah.
once.
All right.
I've seen it.
That's it.
I mean, yeah. So are movies a thing for you guys? What do you do, like the two of you? When
Well,
you
hold
hang
on
out
a second.
together?
Now, the answer to that is we do have our chain gang is legendary chain gang in this town. And so Bruce's wife, Carrie, she does.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Now-
it's Carrie.
Carrie on Sage,
Carrie's on Sage.
I think. I don't know. I don't have a lot of hair, as you can see. And,
You got plenty.
Carter Bruckoff's grandmother.
yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's the lady right there.
Mm-hmm.
And Bruce listens to this. Hey, Bruce, how you doing, bud? And
That's what he was probably hoping for. Is that-
yeah, they're said my name.
That's right. We'll send you the bill
Well, he's
for the
the-
endorsement.
He's the captain of the chain gang,
Yeah. And he's
or is
got
he the
business-
commander? I can't remember what he calls
both,
himself.
captain and commander.
Yeah.
And he's got business card to prove it.
He does.
We have one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just give those out.
No, you have to earn those. We had him on the podcast with his grandson. They came in and talked to us. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So back to my original question.
Yes.
What do you guys do when you're just hanging out besides like apparently putting together cribs and changing tables and stuff like that right now?
Yep.
Mini golf.
Mini golf. Big mini golf.
Very
Yes,
competitive.
competitive.
Really?
I have a spreadsheet on my phone where we keep track.
Really?
Yeah, we keep track of the record. Yeah, by
Yeah.
100%.
Oh my goodness.
Who's
Of
leading
mini
right
golf.
now?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I am.
Don't ask.
Come on now.
Okay.
Come on now.
I don't want to talk about
You like to golf like regular golf?
No, I'm absolutely terrible. I've hit one golf ball once in my life.
Well,
But apparently it's like a requirement for this job.
it.
Like,
Yeah, we've been told
I don't
that.
know.
that's what I've been told.
You've been listening to Chapa because
No.
Chapa's a big golfer.
Jason told me this.
Yeah.
Jason told me that I'm going to have to learn how to
I
golf.
love that.
Well, we do have a tournament. The athletic department has a tournament every year, which everybody participates.
Well, and Chasen wants to do a gridiron tournament.
We should do that. Why wouldn't we do that? We did one last year in February,
The Tundra tournament.
and that was a good experiment.
Sounds
Yeah.
like the timing of
Sounds
it probably could
like
have been better.
there's 10 feet of snow on the ground.
Well,
when you
only
do
it was like a foot.
It was only a
Depends
foot.
on where you're at on the course, a foot or two.
Okay, not bad.
So let's go back to the little nugget that we're expecting here in about 26
6.
days. Good job, Coach.
Oh,
Yeah.
math is hard.
So do you want to reveal the gender of this child? Do you have that information yet? Is that something you'd be willing to share with all 4 people that listens to this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Just a little baby girl.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
Now Troy doesn't know anything about girls.
I don't.
I do.
I mean, I know things about
Hashtag girl
girls,
dad.
not about
Yes.
Right here, right there, brother.
parenting.
Yeah, I have 2 beautiful daughters that I'm just so proud of. They're 26 and 21. The 26-year-old lives down north of Kansas City. They lived in North Kansas City for a while. They lived in the city for a while. And she's married and living life down there, having a good old time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you have any advice for Chris? Because he's terrified.
Terrified's probably not the right word.
You
but
can
Very
have fun.
nervous.
No, there's
terrified.
So there's
Yeah.
and fatherhood in and of itself, and Troy, whether you agree with me or not, I'm still going to say it. It was one of those things about being a dad that it does scare the living hell out of you, but the reality is that you will realize that you're a football coach and you're a lot of different things, but you'll never understand that what you were truly meant to be, what God created you to be, was a dad.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a boy or a girl, that it becomes very, very real. And the level of responsibility, and I don't know what it's like to be a mother, but the level of responsibility of protection was insane. That there is never anything bad going to happen to you as long as I have anything to do with it. And that's just the way I did it. But I'll tell you what, you have a bigger responsibility than your wife, because, and this is my opinion, saying it as a guy, so, excuse my misogynist point of view, but the reality is that your daughter in another 20 some years is going to meet a guy, and she needs to meet a guy like you.
Yes.
And so it's important for you to teach your daughter how to treat people by the way that you treat others.
Yep.
Very important.
My head coach in college would always tell us, your sons are grow up to be like you. Your daughters are going to grow up to marry people like you. Is that a good or
Amen.
bad thing?
Yep. My son-in-law, oh, man, he's a wonderful human being. He really is. I love my son-in-law. He is a stellar individual. But God, do you suppose he's like me?
I don't know.
I think he is.
Okay.
I think he is. And it's
Well, there you
I'm
go.
going to be tougher on him because, hey, the first time that he and I actually met, I may or may not have threatened his life.
Oh, okay.
I may not. I can't remember.
Went the old school route there.
Well, there's a
Absolutely, it's your job, man. Trust me. You'll know all about it when you hold that little bundle and have this love that you've never felt before, and you think about some guy. You want to kill them all.
Chris did say he's going to have to work out until she's at least out of high school.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the only other
I saw a meme of a dad of a girl dad that was he like there was her boyfriend that was so teenage boyfriend or whatever, like sitting at the picnic table, but they're in that some place like a bar or whatever where they have one of those punching machines, and then like the dad is the boyfriend is watching the dad first date, and then he's punching the punching machine, and he's just looking at the score like, yeah, that's what you got to do. Right?
Yeah, the only advice I got for any father of a daughter is when they get to about middle school age and they start getting interested in boys, you don't have to be mean to any of them. It's called the farm dog principle. So you'll notice if you ever go onto a farm and somebody that lives there isn't there, the farm dogs are the ones that you have to know whether you can approach them or not. So the dog that's sitting there wagging its tail and its tongue's hanging out and it's happy to see you jumping up and down, that's a dog that's really nice. But the dog that's tied up to, 4-inch log chain and he's jumping at you and snarling and barking and his ears are back and he's looking like he's going to kill you, you don't go anywhere near that dog. The dog that worries me is the one that just sits there and stares at you. Doesn't move, just watches you. So that was my philosophy. I took the stance that when these boys would, they for some reason wanted me to like them, and I didn't really care. I made Zarin Agastal. Well, you get to know Zarin. I made the choice that I love Zarin and I love his family, and I'm going to talk to him, but nobody else. So I picked Zarin out of a hat, and hey, Zarin, how's it going, man? Pretty good. And one of the guys would go, hey, Mr. Buffington, how are you? Just stare at him and then walk away because they don't know if you're nice or if you're happy.
I mean, I guess I don't have anything to add to that. 4 boys and the old Frank Sinatra sang a song from musical Carissa, so you can have fun with a son, but you got to be a father to a girl.
Huh.
Whatever that means. Yeah.
Tune. Hope all that helps.
Yeah.
And you'll figure it out. There's no book. There's no book in the world.
I mean, you
there's a
don't
book.
have a choice but to figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of, you'll get to that point where let's just keep it alive for a little bit longer. Oh my gosh.
A few more days.
I just want to sleep.
A little Guns N' Roses, and you'll be off to a good start.
There we go.
That's right.
Well, we're excited for you guys and add to the Warrior
Thank you.
family. We're going to have to start buying onesies and purple diapers and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait. You guys got to be excited.
Thoroughly.
We are.
I mean,
Yeah.
so
We're
very
very
excited.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
It's coming
Well,
fast.
We're excited to have you up here
I'm
to build this team. The Warriors are a special program, and I suppose every program says that about themselves, and they're probably all to some extent accurate. What's special about where we are and what we're celebrating is this thing called the Way of the Warrior, and it is something that is has been building for the last 4 or 5 years, and it has become something that I think that can continue to be built on, and I'm really excited to see how Chasen and the crew of young coaches that are you got something to prove, because even though the record last year was good, everybody wanted it to be better, and a little bit of a chip on the shoulder. We had some things to overcome. There has been some recruiting that has happened that has certainly looks positive, and we've got some good folks coming back, and we've got some young coaches that. And we make it seem like Will was really old. He wasn't. He was in his mid-30s. But there is a closer range to where you guys are and the people that you're coaching, and they hopefully understand that you've got something to prove, so you're going to give it your all, and they've got something to prove, and together we're very hopeful that the Warrior and the Way of the Warrior becomes
For sure.
legendary.
Absolutely. That's what we're here for.
And Coach, what do you love about being a coach?
Got to say, it's the people, man. Like, it really is. It's the relationships. Like, I love winning. I love competing, but, seeing a guy accomplish, the one thing, whether it's, winning a conference title, being an all conference player, all American, like whatever that is, whatever that kid's goal is, like seeing them accomplish that and just like the joy that they have and knowing that you were a part of that and help this kid get to where he wants to be. That really truly is, I think, one of the best feelings out there.
Well, that's the right answer. Congratulations.
Exactly. 5 points.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you love about being a coach's wife?
Ooh.
I don't know. I think it's specifically to Chris, just watching him be so excited and love what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And I love traveling, so being able to have a job that he's like, oh, we're going and moving. All right. Well, here's the next adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. And speaking of traveling, you'll get to go back up to North Dakota.
Yes.
No, we don't travel to Dickinson.
No, we don't.
Next year.
They come
to
our
our
way.
place. They come into our house.
That is
When at
fine with
home.
me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'll
One of the
stay
first things I did
here.
was look at the schedule and see, like, okay, how far am I gonna have to travel?
Well,
The whole 10 hours in a bus did not seem appealing to me.
and we're working on that.
Yeah, it's some of those are some long trips,
Yes.
but
That is for sure.
we've got some good teams in the conference. We're one of them,
Yes, we are.
and we talked a lot of smack last year on this program, and I mean,
I may have
nearly got us with Iowa Wesleyan. We came out ahead on that.
And again, I got nothing but love for Iowa Wesleyan, but
Yeah.
I kept giving them a bad time about being the powerhouse of the North Star and
Yeah.
things like that. And we do love our brothers and sisters that are, our institutions that are in the North Star. But I was pretty tough on Iowa Wesleyan, and just thinking that we're going to stomp them.
Yeah,
And what was it?
it was
7-3. I
eked
believe.
out that.
Yeah, I was sweating for lots of reasons.
Yeah.
Number one, I want the Warriors to win, but number two, that monstrous plate of crow that I would have had to eat.
Oh man,
Yeah, I
I
would
was
have
watching you from the press box
Yeah.
and thinking he's sweating a little bit right now.
Oh, and it was one of the later games too. It was
Yeah.
it was
Probably pretty
freezing.
nice that you were sweating because you were like at least comfortable outside.
Yeah,
No, and that's one of the things I'm looking forward to. I'm hoping that our coach from Belmont comes back this year, so I'm not the oldest guy on staff.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you can hope.
yeah. Someday,
Right.
Someday,
Right.
Yeah, he's been retired for a long time, so. But then he comes back and helps the Warriors, so yeah, we love him.
Is that Coach Christian?
Christian.
Darwin Christensen, you bet. He is a staple here in North Iowa. He coached football for a lot of years at the high school level, and he has a lot of knowledge. And he's if you haven't met him yet, you'll love him. He's a good dude all the way around.
Awesome. Where did he coach at in high school?
Belmont Clemmy High School, which is probably about 30 minutes from here.
It's about 50 minutes. Everything's about 50 minutes. 50 minutes from now, depending on how you get there. Yeah. You could probably run, swim, and bike for sure. Oh, for sure. 127.
Yeah, you run a marathon, you'd
don't
almost
need
be
that.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the last leg anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll do the four
Straight
city-
down 69. Yeah.
That's true, right through town.
Mhm.
Nice little town. All right, guys, what do you got? Any closing thoughts for us?
Not really. Just really excited to be here. I've heard a lot of great things, obviously, and met some really, really good people. And that's what makes places go.
And have you ever been on a podcast?
No, this is my first time.
Oh,
Carissa, you?
well, it's good that you guys can experience this together. In a way, it's like mini golf.
Yeah.
I don't know
Such
how
a
you.
bonding
Except
experience.
there's
It is.
not a winner and a loser.
There.
Sure.
Well,
there is. I
Troy
keep
and
a
I will
spreadsheet
vote.
myself
Actually,
on the phone.
the loser of this podcast is definitely Chasen.
Well,
Or
yeah.
And that's something I'll never forget now. And every time I see him, it'll be Chasen. But luckily, I'll just call him Coach. So anyway, I want to thank the Silvas for coming out and meeting us and spending a few minutes so that you folks that listen to this can get to know them a little bit. You're going to see Coach on the sidelines. You'll see Carissa probably in the tailgate, sounds like, and she'll be the one carrying the beautiful baby.
Mm-hmm.
And we just can't wait to see what happens and making you part of this community, because we talked about family. You guys are going to be part of the Warrior family for forever and always. Trust me. We adopt people very readily up here, and we're going to make sure that you have the best experience that you possibly can, because Waldorf football is the best small college football experience in America.
You got to say.
So I want to thank you guys again for coming out and visiting with us for a little bit.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
Thank you for
much.
having us.
All right, for Carissa and Chris Silva, I want to thank you so much for being here. And for Troy Thompson, this is Andy Buffington. I want to thank everybody for listening to the Waldorf Gridiron Podcast. And forever and always, go Warriors. You can join the Waldorf Gridiron Club today by sending a check to the Waldorf Gridiron Club, P.O. Box 125, Forest City, Iowa, 50436.
Or message us by visiting and like our Facebook page, Waldorf Gridiron Club. Or email us at waldorfgridironclub@gmail.com.
Or it's as easy as clicking on the Support the Show link on your phone. Become a patron of the Gridiron Club by choosing to support the program monthly. $100 is the black membership at $9 a month.
The $250 level is purple at $25 a month.
$500 is the Warrior membership at $45 a month.
The all-conference level is $750 or $65 a month.
$1,000 is the All-American membership at $85 a month.
The champion level is $125 a month, and that's $1,500 a year.
$2,500 is the Hall of Fame membership.
The Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast is hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson. Produced by Sunnyside Farmstead Studios in beautiful rural Forest City, Iowa. The music is by Christian Leo. The Waldorf Gridiron Club is a non-profit 501c3 organization dedicated to football student athletes of Waldorf University. Our mission is to assist the program in maintaining the best small college football experience in America.